Hi everybody! Today I had an idea for a video that I haven't seen around. I mean, I know it's probably a thing, but I've never seen it done, and I just thought, why not just go ahead and do it? That's how it works on the YouTubes. And this video is going to be my top 3 favorite standalones of all time, ever. I do not think there are going to be spoilers for these books. If there are, I will let you know in the video, obviously. I promise I'll let you know before that happens, so stick around. All these 3 books are my top 3 standalones, and they are no particular order. The order that I show you them in are just random. There's no order to them. But I do need to go ahead and address. I think everybody knows that my favorite book of all time, which also happens to be a standalone, is The Fault in Our Stars. Obviously. But since everybody knows that, like, really, have you been here? And if you haven't, welcome and check this out. But since that's obviously my favorite standalone, I'm not including that in this because I've already ranted about how much I liked it, and everybody's already read that, pretty much. And these standalones are kind of unique in that maybe everybody hasn't read them. I don't know. I mean, I don't know if you've read these or not. People are probably gonna be like, everybody's read that. Well, Fault in Our Stars is very, very popular, so I know that most people read it, but in this I'm going to give like a brief synopsis, like a mini review, just a kind of an overall critique of each of these standalones and how much I love them. And like I said, this is in no particular order, but one of my first top 3 favorite standalones of all time is The Outsiders, and this is written by S.E. Hinton, and I think this is an incredible story. As a mini synopsis, this takes place during the, oh boy, 20s, 30s, somewhere around there at least. And, oh, I could be completely wrong. It might be like the 60s or 70s. Nobody get mad at me, please. But I'd like to hear that down below. I honestly don't remember because I read this last year. But this is about a young boy named Ponyboy, and he is a greaser. And this is basically a time when it was split up into the 2 gangs, which are the Socias and the Greasers. The Greasers are kind of the ghetto people now. Like, they're, kind of trashy and just, you know what I mean, the name kind of says it all. And then the Socias, that's sort for social. They're like, really, they're the rich kids of your school. If you see a preppy rich kid, they were probably a Soc back then. And it's just about them overcoming the differences and them interacting with one another. And Ponyboy is a greaser, and he's like, do I want the life of a Soc? I'm proud to be a greaser, but they have so much. It's just him, and he has 2 brothers. They're very good characters. My favorite character, gosh, what's his name? I haven't read this in forever, guys. Oh boy. Dally. Yeah, Dally. Dally was my favorite character in this. I have not seen the film adaptation, which saddens me. I want to very, very soon. But I highly recommend this novel. I mean, obviously I recommend all 3 of these novels, but this was this was the very first book I ever read for school and liked. I've never had to read a book for school and actually loved it. I read one book in 7th grade that wasn't too bad. It was called Tuck Everlasting by Natalie Babbitt. That was pretty good. That was okay. I at least didn't hate it. This one I loved. And it's just it's different from what I've ever read. And what's most unique about it is that the author started this book when she was about 14 or 15. It started out as an essay for her English class. And then when she was about 16, it got published, which is so cool to me because I'm 14 and I want to be a writer, and she really inspires me to know that I can do this. And a couple fun facts, that's what it's kind of going to be, is that S.E. she abbreviated her name Susan Eloise, I think it is. I don't really know, to be completely honest. She abbreviated her name because she thought that if dudes, like guys, saw it, they'd be like, a woman can't write about a book like that, people fighting all the time in gangs, she can't do it justice. So she abbreviated it so they wouldn't, see Susan and be like, oh, Susan can't write about gangs and boys fighting and stuff. She can. It turns out she can. This is an excellent novel, a great coming of age story, finding yourself. It's amazing. It's absolutely amazing. This next one is one that I read very recently. I believe it was in my January wrap-up, and that is The Curious Incident of the Dog in the Nighttime by Mark Haddon. And this is amazing. This is about a young autistic boy, he's about 15, who is incredibly gifted mathematically and literally, what? Book bookishly? What am I trying to say? I have absolutely no idea what I'm trying to say, but bookish. He's book smart. But, you know, as an autistic kid, he has to go through the struggles. This is his point of view. So you get to see from the point of view of a kid with autism. And you get to see how, you know, it's harder for them in social situations, or at least this character. I still don't know very much about autism, but I was at least able to see how somebody with autism lives and functions. And, you know, our main character has problems, you know, socially, like he writes and speaks, like with run-on sentences, and like he does not like the color yellow or brown, and like he has, like, you know, his little specific things. And it was the most beautiful novel. It was absolutely gorgeous. All three of these are just absolutely stunning in the fact that they make you think. Oh my gosh, they make you think. The Outsiders, I closed it, but I still haven't closed it in my mind. I think about it all the time because there's so much to it. But this book, it's about this kid, and he finds this dead dog in nighttime. Like, he finds this dead dog while he's out at night, and he's trying to figure out who killed it. He's trying to be, like, you know, a mystery. He's trying to figure out a mystery. And it's kind of like a mystery within a mystery. It's so interesting and so unique. I've never ever read anything like this. Plus, I'm really digging this cover. It's nice. It's really cool, but sorry. See, this is a relatively short book. I thought it was going to be quite a bit thicker, but Mark Haddon did a fantastic job in the amount of pages he did. And it's really cool because since our main character has autism, he uses a lot of charts and graphs to try to get his words across. Like, he's talking to us. And it's like he's trying to get it across to us. And he doesn't work very well in social situations, so he used, like, lists and charts and graphs and stuff. One of the most amazing and unique books I've ever read. I highly recommend it. And the last one is something that I read recently and for school, and you can probably see where this is going if I just told you that. And we just finished the movie yesterday. I was the only buddy in that class sobbing. Yeah. It's a fangirl problem. Hashtag the struggle is real. But, this has so much. It's so important to me, and I'll get more to it after I tell you what it is. It's Of Mice and Men by John Steinbeck. You guys have known for a while. Ow. Why'd you hit me? Sorry. You guys have known for a while, if you've been here for a while, that classics are really hard for me. I'm not trying to be one of those stuck-up teenagers like, I only read fantasy and contemporary YA. I mean, I try to be diverse. I really do. Because I'm pretty sure this is a young adult book. Look, it's right side up. I'm pretty sure this is, you know, adult. So, I mean, I try to be diverse. But I just have a trouble with classics. I don't really know what it is. It's just because they're old. They were written older times, so, you know, the wording is different and I'm not really used to it. But I'm trying to expose myself to that more, and I was really glad to see that we got this assignment because I knew that it would push me to read it. And I was so glad I did. This book is absolutely amazing. I feel like a lot of people have read this probably during high school or are going to read it. I promise you, if you have to read it soon, like if you know that you're going to have to read it like later in high school or coming up, don't sweat it, because it's going to be one of the most amazing reads that you've ever had. So this is about two migrant workers in the mid-20s, kind of in the Great Depression era. Well, actually, that is the Great Depression era. And it's about these two migrant workers, George and Lenny, and they have this dream that they are going to own land and own a house and have rabbits and all these animals and just have a great life. They're going to have a great life together, and it's just going to be awesome. George started taking care of Lenny once his aunt passed away. And Lenny has a mental problem. He has a bit of a problem. He is simple-minded, as the synopsis is saying right now. I'm trying to think of how exactly to say it. Yeah, he has the mind of a child. He does. He He's very childlike, even though he's very, very big. You know, he's tall, he's, you know, all bowed up, but he has the mind of a little kid, and he's just really, really innocent and sweet, and a great, great character. And George is a little bit tougher. I mean, he kind of has to be because he's dealing with somebody who has a mental disorder, so he's having to, you know, maybe be a little bit stricter just to keep everything in line. So they're going about and they're going to this ranch to try and get money so that they can achieve their dream. And, you know, there's a slew of all kinds of events, you know, just awesome, awesome quality story. John Steinbeck is absolutely incredible. Before I ever knew what I had to read for my English class this summer, I misread the email and thought that I had to read The Grapes of Wrath when it was really To Kill a Mockingbird, so I bought The Grapes of Wrath on my tablet, and I was like, come on, it was the wrong one. Now, I cannot wait to read it because I've been exposed to the brilliance that is John Steinbeck, and I now love the 20s era even more. I loved the 20s because I really like Great Gatsby, and I love that era, like with the fashion and, you know, the music. I love this era. I love this era. This took a whole different turn. Gatsby showed me the rich and elegant life of the 20s. This showed me the poor and ranching side of it. The most beautiful story. It shows what friendship is. This is the definition of friendship, and it shows how caring people can be and how cruel people can be. And it's absolutely, this is one of the best, this, other than The Outsiders, this is the best book I've ever had to read for school, and possibly one of my favorite books of all time. I mean, it's obviously one of my top 3 favorite standalones, but you get what I'm saying. You get what I'm saying. Like, all up there with not just standalones, but everything else included. This has to be a favorite. Highly recommend it. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If maybe you want me to do some more of these, like with different genres, like top 3 sci-fi or top 3 fantasy, let me know in the comments. I would love to do that more if you guys liked this kind of video. So tell me down below if you've read any of these books, if you liked them, you know, just give me some of the deets and be nice. People can be mean in the comments. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.